What's up, guys? Welcome back to Hero Talk, episode 7 from the hotel in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm on tour right now. This is the first time I've ever been on tour, and it's been so much fun. I don't know. I'm just happy. I'm happy to be creating content and living life. And unfortunately, okay, hold on. I want to say this. This is going to be kind of like a vlog podcast. I'm the first to do it, I guess. Because if you can't tell, I'm in a hotel and I forgot my tripod. I know. I bring all things and I forgot my tripod. So this is going to be like the podcast with a vlog style, I guess. I don't know. So bear with me. I'm going to try to make it as much like a podcast as possible. I'm going to get some different angles, different backgrounds so you don't get freaking bored. But just wanted to say that. Let's talk about, I just want to talk about so many things, but the biggest thing I want to talk about is change is good. Change comes whenever, I don't even know, but change just comes in random times, and it's such a beautiful thing, and it's amazing to have change in your life. And I'm just, at this moment, I'm just blessed with everything going around. I'm blessed to be in this position with Full Squad. I'm blessed to have an amazing girlfriend. I'm blessed to just be living life, and I get to go to all these cool places and have a blast. So I'm just blessed, and change is good. And I want you guys to know that before we dive into this podcast episode, I just want to let you guys know that if you're going through anything hard or whatever, that it does get better. Trust the process and trust that change is coming, and good change is coming. Again, sorry if this is going to be like all shaky and stuff, because dude, trying to hold this camera it's heavy. But let's talk about the title, the reason why you even clicked this video. The reason I want to bring it up is because I feel like in today's society, so many people just want to like get with each other and do the whole hookup culture thing, and like no hate at all. If that's what you want to do, go ahead, live your life, have fun. That was never like me. I didn't want to ever do that. I've always been like more of like a family man. I always wanted a family. I always wanted to have a beautiful wife and have kids and raise beautiful kids, and kind of just said the same thing. But I just wanted a family, and for me and my future wife to be together forever. Like, honestly, what is that? Like the American dream? I don't even know if that's the American dream, but that's been like my dream, okay? I come from a family, a very loving family. I'm very blessed that I have two parents that are loving and together. And a little story about them. I don't even know if they want me to say this. So Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. But my parents both met when they were 18, and they were at work. Okay, Mom, I know you're a loving and fantastic mom. My mom's the best mom in the world. I just want to say that. But like working, and my mom, she's a very hard worker for her family. I should say that. And she'll do anything for us. But like work at a computer, I cannot picture my mom doing that. So they met at work. My dad is like a really big lender back home in the Bay Area. Honestly, I think like worldwide at this point, he's freaking killing it. Shout out to my dad, because that's where I get my work ethic. Anyway, that being said, they met when they were 18, and my mom was pregnant on her 21st birthday. Again, this is like very detailed information, so I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this, but I don't think it's anything to be embarrassed or sad about. I think it's like awesome. So my mom was pregnant with me on her 21st birthday, obviously with my dad. And since then, they got married at 21 years old, and they are now 40. They're both 44, and they're still together. So they've been together for 23 years. So since 21 years old, they've been together. Technically since 18 years old. That, to me, is just so beautiful and so awesome. And that is like, that's like my goal, is to have a family and a relationship like my parents. I think that growing up in a loving household, and growing up watching my parents be so loving and demonstrating what it's like to have a happy couple, I should say, a happy life. But they just demonstrated what two loving parents two loving parents. They just showed what love is. Obviously, I'm super blessed to have a beautiful, loving girlfriend. She's the best. I love her so much. And obviously the goal is to marry her. That being said, a little background, because we want to talk about is marriage before 25 like fine or bad, whatever. Obviously, I don't think anybody has the intention of going into marriage with doubt that they're going to get divorced. When you marry someone, I think a lot of people forget the point of marriage. The point of marriage is to be with that person forever. I think you literally say, do you promise to be with this person forever? And obviously, situations happen and not everybody finds their soulmates right away, and then they marry and then they get divorced and whatever. And it's totally fine. To that point, I think a lot of people would say, oh, before you're 25, your brain isn't developed. And what else people say? Like, your brain isn't developed, and oh, there could be someone else out there and you don't know because you're so young, and this and that, this and that. But it's like, yes, I hear you. But even after 25, when your brain is developed and the girl's brain is developed, or vice versa, people still get divorced because it is such like is it controversial? I don't even think it's controversial. I just think it's a big topic that people talk about, like, oh, you're 20 years old and you're married, or like, oh, you're 21 years old and you're married, or 23 or 24, 25, 26, whatever. Also, I want to say that my family, not like my mom and dad, but my like cousins and stuff, have all got married around 26, 27, 28, that range. So I think, again, at such a young age, I was raised around young parents. I was shown at a young age almost to be married at 26 and 27 and in your 20s. And I think that's why I've looked forward to, marriage so much. And it just happens when you're not looking for it. I deep down wanted a relationship, but I was not looking for like a relationship. And obviously I found my beautiful girlfriend, Natasha, and she's awesome. And obviously I want to marry her. She's just the best. But it's not like I was like, okay, I need to look for a relationship. So like, it just happens naturally. That's what I'm just basically trying to say. So what made me like think about all this is like a lot is like, I feel like I've met and seen online a lot of people that are married before 25. It made me think, like, is this the new normal or is this not the new normal? I want to say that I think it's pretty normal. I will admit, though, too, when people are like, oh, yeah, this is my wife, or like, this is like my husband, and they're like young, like in your 20s, I'm like, dang, like you're 21, you're 20 years old and you got married, like, that's such a young age to get married. Like, holy smokes. Like, in the world we live in my perspective, people would be like, that's crazy. And then I also think, wait, my parents got married at 21 years old. So that's not crazy because like they are doing the same thing. It's just so awesome to see that nowadays. And now that I have this beautiful girlfriend who I love so much and want to spend every second with them, like, maybe I should propose before 25, like maybe I should pop the question now, who knows? But I just was like thinking like, dang, that's crazy. Is this the new norm? And I think to some people, yes, and obviously some people, no. I think another thing that's wild is I live in LA. Yes, like some of the stereotypes are true. Everybody in LA just wants to hook up, or there's no love in LA, etc. I like agree to disagree. Like, I don't think that's true. I just think that people haven't found the one. And also, if you're like partying every single day, of course you're not going to find your future wife or girlfriend. Like, you're going out every single day talking to a million different people. Like, do you really think that you're going to find the one doing that? Like, no, you're not. Or maybe you are. I don't know. I could be wrong. Well, yeah, I think I'm definitely wrong. But that being said, I just think that the hookup culture and all this stuff that is like cool and like normal should not be like normal. Like, whatever happened to like trying to find love and be in love? Like, why is it just about like, oh yeah, I just want to hook up with this guy or this girl or whatever? Like, why? Like, and again, if that's you, no shame at all. Okay, do your thing, go have your fun. But I just think that it should be normalized to also find love at such a young age. And maybe I'm just lucky to have found love at a young age, and other people secretly are trying to find love, and they just, for whatever reason, I shouldn't say for whatever reason. That was mean. That was really mean. I'm sorry. But they're trying to find love and they can't seem to do it. That's what I'm saying. Because obviously to be in love, it's hard. It's hard to do and hard to find the right person at the end of the day. And I'm lucky that I did find the right person, but I know that it can be definitely super hard. As I see people like before 25 doing the hookup culture thing, And then I see the other half where it's like people are getting married before 25. I'm like, I pick the marriage route over the hookup culture route any day. But no shame again if you don't. That's you, do your thing. But that is not me. And I think like I don't know when or where this happened because I would like to think that during my parents' age, I'm gonna make them sound like so old. I'm sorry, mom. You're not old, okay? You're not, and I love you. But I feel like back then, in like we can even talk about like the 1980s. Not that I'm super familiar with it. I'm not familiar with it at all. Okay, I'm not that old, but I think during the 80s and I don't know, like the 1900s, like it was more traditional. Like you find a wife, and then you have kids, and then you live together happily ever after. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I am, but I feel like that's the new, or that was the normal, and now the normal is like this hookup culture. Oh, we're never gonna find love, and there's so many weird things too that people have like made up during the years. Like, since when was it okay when you're in a relationship? This sounds like so like I'm like picking on a certain group. If you do this, again, don't take it to heart, and there's nothing personal here. It just, I cannot fathom doing this. But if you're in a relationship, when was it like cool to add another person in the mix? Why? Even saying that is like crazy. Like, why is that normal? Why would you, if you're a girl, want another guy in it? And if you're a guy, why would you want that? And if you're a girl, why would you want another girl in that relationship? Like, that just, I don't know. When I'm in a relationship, like, you're mine. You're mine, you're mine, you're nobody else's. That's it. Like, you're mine, and I'm yours. I'm not going to go cheat on you. Don't cheat on me. Very simple. Okay? Like, let's have kids, get married, do the whole spiel, of course. But why, like, this is what I'm saying. Is our generation cooked where everybody just wants to go out and party and hook up and like add other people to the equation? Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And I don't think it's like normalized, but I think it's, I don't even know. Is it normal? I hope it's not normalized, but in LA it's like kind of getting more normal, and it's like weird, and that shouldn't be a thing. I don't know. I think this generation could be cooked. I think we're on the right steps to fixing it by getting married at 25. You know, it's like becoming a little bit more normal. I've seen it on like social media and stuff. And, you know, I feel like the hookup culture thing is obviously still very real. But I think we're on the right track of getting like, you know, try to find the one before you're 25 and all that stuff. You know, like honestly, I would marry my girlfriend now. I would. And to you, you're probably going to be like, that's crazy. Oh, what the heck? You're so young. That's what I want to say too. I hear a lot of people be like, oh, well, you're in your 20s, and don't you think that there's so many other people out there that you need to explore? It's like, what? What does that mean? Like, hook up with thousands of people and be like, yep, that's the one. Like, no, ew, that's gross. That's disgusting. And it's like, when you know, you know. So to the people who say like, oh, but yeah, you're so young and there's so many other people out there, and how do you know this is the one? It's like, when you know, you know. There's just like that feeling, that chemistry, that connection, that just, it just works. And you just know that it is going to work. And a relationship should be like two people wanting to work together to make the relationship work. Not saying a relationship should be like work, but yeah, you have to like be a team and want to be together. Obviously. So it's like, I never understand when people are like, oh, you're so young, there could be so many other people out there. It's like, okay, why are you saying that? Like, you're either like single saying that, or you're like, I don't know. It just, when people say that, it's not clocking to me. Okay, that statement has never clocked to me. And I think a lot of times young people can agree with that. Like, oh yeah, you're right, I am in my 20s, and I should go explore other people and hope to find the one. Like, I don't know. That just has never made sense to me. I would love to talk about this and correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just like my opinion, I guess. I don't know. It's whatever. So I think that's like what everyone says and talks about when you're 20s. Oh, it's like also like financials. Like, oh, well, you guys are so young. What if you guys aren't financially good? It's like, okay, there are like people who are, I don't know. I just know this is a fact. There's people obviously who don't have the best financials, who are just madly in love and are willing to do anything to be together. And I think that's just the mindset that you have to have, is like, no matter what happens, we're going to be together forever. And I hope that people in general understand that that's what marriage is like, staying together forever no matter what. So if you're 25 and getting married, like you should, before 25, I should say, and getting married, you should obviously understand that no matter what, you and your partner should want to be together forever. That's the whole point, you know? So I'm like totally pro get married before 25, because that's dope. If you found the one and you want to get married before you're 25, I'm right there with you. And I would totally propose. And another thing too I want to talk about is, we can talk about social media people, or honestly just people in general. I feel like people are so quick to judge a relationship or one person in that relationship because they see not even 1%. They see like 0.5% of the relationship, and they're like, oh no, they've only been dating for a year, so yeah, that's too early to propose. Or, oh, they've only been talking or dating for 6 months, so yeah, that's too early. It's like, you don't know anyone's relationship. What you see online, what you see outside, and when you meet people, that's like literally, like I said, 0.5% of that relationship, if even that, 0.25%. So how are you and who are you to judge their relationship and say like, oh, they're young, so I don't know, I just don't think it's gonna work out? What? You don't know their relationship? They could be together every second of the day and love each other, and that's just truly who they are as a couple. They want to just be in love and be together forever. So I think that's another thing that people say. It's like, what are you saying? You don't even know that person's relationship. What? Come on. Let's be so honest here. I gotta switch arms, bro. This camera is so heavy, and hopefully like this looks good. I feel like the lighting looks decent. You can literally see the reflection there. I'm literally holding it. It's funny. Okay, marriage after, I shouldn't even say marriage after 25, but like, we'll say like marriage 30s plus. I would argue that even in your 30s, depending on the type of person you are, yes, organically and naturally, you're more mature. But I know like 30-year-olds that are still partying and single. Again, no judgment. But if you're like in your 30s, 40s, and I don't go to the clubs anymore, but when I have been to the clubs, I've seen like old men at the clubs. Bro, what are you doing? Why are you at the club? Seriously. The club is for like 18 to like your 20s. Brother, you're like 50 and 60 at the club trying to find like, find a hookup. That is weird to me. Again, if you're like 60 watching this, wow, shout out to you. But in no judgment, if you're doing that, live your life. I'm not ever one to judge anyone's life, and I don't think we as humans can judge anyone's life. But what are you doing, bro? 50s at the club. So like getting married at 30, like, or after you're 30, like, why are you going out at that age? Okay, again, no one can have the same morals and values as me. Like, I'm not saying everyone should be like me and try to find love and try to find the one. Like, I'm not saying that, but I think it should be like, okay, bro, start a family, bro. Seriously, you're at the club and you're 6 years old, start a family. Or even if you're like 40, it's like, bro, what? Start a family. You don't need to be out every single night. So to that point, even if you're in your 30s, people are still immature. I think maturity just comes, I don't know, naturally, or like if you want to mature, you'll be mature. I don't know. I'm also not one to speak because I love being immature at times. Like, let's be so honest. I'm not like, oh yes, everybody stay inside and nobody be funny. Like, of course. Like, I'm a funny guy and I'm obviously not the most mature. So I'm not judging anybody in any circumstance. But to that point, after 30s, you can still be immature. So I think I would actually argue that if you want to get married after your 30s, it's the same reasons and same difficulty as if you're going to get married in your 20s. Because I would argue that my whole life, not my whole life, but majority of my life, I've been more mature, I've been more level-headed and things like that. So like, to me, being married in my 20s doesn't sound crazy at all. Like, that just sounds normal. Again, I look at my parents, I got married at 21 years old. That's not crazy to me. To someone else, that might be crazy, like, obviously, but I don't think it's crazy. I also, again, think it's a maturity thing. I've met so many people in their 20s that are super level-headed and mature. Maturity, you can be immature in your 20s, you can be mature in your 20s, and you can also be immature and mature in your 30s and on. So it's like, why are people judging on when you should get married? Because technically what we just broke down is that in your 20s, it's the same thing as if you're 30s plus. So love in marriage is just hard in general. And I'm just blessed to have found my beautiful girl. But to that extent of what I just said of, oh, you're getting older, and if you do want to find love, that doesn't mean rush to find the one. It's going to happen organically. It's going to happen naturally. And when you find the one, you're going to know. That's like the whole point, is like, if you know kind of thing. So I think that, yeah, like now that I think about it and I'm speaking it out loud, love and marriage is a very complicated thing, but it also doesn't have to be complicated. And that statement is complicated, but I think it's complicated if you make it complicated. And I think it's not complicated if you don't make it complicated. What am I saying? I'm getting delirious now. Okay. I'm at that point where I'm like, oh shoot, thinking of a million different things. But overall, I just think that if you want to find love, you'll eventually find it. And if you want to be married, you'll be married. And if you want to have kids and you want to have a family, you'll do that. I'm going to do that. I can't wait. That's like my whole reason why I'm even on this earth, is to be a dad and to be a family man. And I look up to my dad so much because that's what he was for me. And that's what he is for my family. So I can't wait to be a dad. I can't wait to have a family and be a family man. Honestly, everything that I do now, this is like super deep. I'm honestly fine with sharing this on the internet. But everything that I do now is for my family who raised me, my future kids, and my wife. Family comes first for me. And family comes first for me because I was shown that throughout my entire life, that family comes first and family is very important. I'm the biggest family man ever. I love my family, and my future family is going to be beautiful, and I'm going to show my kids what a loving relationship is, or that's my hopes, I should say. And I want to demonstrate what love is and show my kids exactly what my parents showed me. So, I think that's very important in my life. And I think that's why that's why I do what I do, is for my family, my future family, and things like that. So, yeah, I think that pretty much sums up what I want to talk about. I don't know. I could go about this for hours. I really could. Maybe I'll do like a debate with like someone who's pro get married past 30 and myself who's get married now. And we could just see not who's right. Because to answer the question, should you get married at 25, in your 20s, or past your 30s, there's no right or wrong answer. You just get married when you want to get married and when you think it's right. That's the most important thing. Not when you should, but when you think it's right, that's when you should get married. When you know, you know. And that's all I want to say, I think, for now. I think we touched on everything. Majority of things. Again, I could go about this. But comment below if I should do like a cool debate, because I think that'd be sick. But that's the end of the video. Shout out to Nadia Fudge 567. Subscribe to become a part of the Hero family, and I'll see you next week. Peace.